Welcome to the Rising Consciousness Show, 20 minutes of soulful insights and powerful tools to elevate your life experience and create with higher clarity, intention, and vision. I'm Tara Antler, intuitive healer and soul coach.
And I'm King Gabriel, spiritual teacher and practitioner. And we are the co-founders of Ascension Academy of Light,
a global center for spiritual growth, intuitive healing, and soul alignment.
Get ready to blast off.
Hi, radiant beings. Happy new calendar year. Welcome to Plug In and Power Up. I am so grateful, so excited to be here with you all, kicking off a new calendar year, new energy, new experiences, new beginnings, even though I feel like a lot of people are still feeling like they need to rest. I don't know about you, but I was feeling it a lot. And I'm so grateful that we had a couple weeks off to rest, to recalibrate, to get in alignment with where we're going and what we want to create for the new year. And so I'd love to dive into all the things. I'm just making sure my mic is working properly. When you arrive, say hi. Let me know that you can hear me clearly. I am so grateful to be here with you all. For those of you that are just getting to know me, my name is Tara Antler, and I am an intuitive healer, soul coach, and spiritual mentor. And I've been doing this, what I call non-work, because it's never felt like work in the 23 years of working with clients. And one of the things that I love to do most is really help people clear through what I call the ick of the stick, that stuff that doesn't serve us, the stuff that doesn't belong. Let's get that gone. Let's get that moved out of the way, because we've got a big life to create here. We've got a lot of energy. We've got a lot of dreams to fulfill. And it's easier to fulfill those dreams when we are clear, when our vessel is free, when our mind is open and receptive, and when we're ready to go connected to the divine. And then we get to bring all that energy here now and do something with it. And I feel like this year, this is a new year, not just calendar year, but numerologically. I always pay attention to season cycles and more of the numerology, astrological, even human design. And looking at this season and what we're in right now, we've moved into, if you're counting numerologically, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 is a 1 year. This is a really great year for new beginnings, new energy, new expansion. If there was ever a time for you to create something new, this is the year to do it. If there was ever a time for you to create a new habit, this is the year to do it. If there was ever a time for you to initiate something new in terms of your mindset, your spiritual path, how you function in life, how you thrive, this is the year to do it, because we're in the energy of new beginnings, new essence, new vibration. It's the perfect, not just because it's January, but this is the perfect cycle to be able to do this in. As we wrapped up 2025, we were clearing out a 9-year cycle. That's how numerology works. It works 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 9, and it just keeps repeating. And not that we're repeating a loop, but I like to look at things like a spiral. And we are spiraling up. We are growing up. We grow up spiritually. We grow up emotionally and mentally. We grow up our dreams, our visions. We are always growing up. Look at children. Children do not stay the same month after month, year after year. They're constantly growing, and you get to see their growth spurts, and they're massive, especially we're back here in Mexico, and people hadn't seen us in 8 months, and they were like, oh my gosh, I think the kids grew a foot. And I was like, no, they really have. And when you think about it, you're like, whoa, 8 months. When you aren't seeing somebody, when you see somebody every single day for 6 months, and then you don't see them for 8 months, you can see the growth, especially in children. The same thing is happening for us as adults. We're going through these growth spurts too. They just look different. They look different because it's happening more on the inside. It's our inner growth. It's our inner transformation, not necessarily like we're changing so much on the outside, right? Unless we're getting younger and younger, which, I hold space for that. So let me say hi to some people, and then we're going to continue this conversation. Hi, Janelle. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Hi, Peter. Happy New Year. So grateful to have you all here. And if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay for me, and I'll come back and read your comments. So we are in Mexico. I want to give you a little update. We are in Mexico, and it was really interesting getting down here because we had this plan. We had this great plan that we were every year, we were going to be traveling to Mexico, and 6 months in Canada, 6 months in Mexico. And then when we were in Florida, some of you remember our journey in Florida in September, we were called down there because I was a part of a mastermind, which was incredible, a 3-day event. And I was asked to speak on stage and lead a meditation for one of my mentors, business mentors that we've worked with for more than 6 years now. And when we were down there, I said to Gabriel, and I said to everybody I was talking to, I'm like, and Thrivers, you know this because I said this. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. I kept saying, I have a feeling something's about to change. Something radical is about to shift. I have a feeling our timeline is about to change. I have a feeling we may not be going to Mexico for the full 6 months this year. Intuitively, I knew it. And I think sometimes I'm bringing this forward for you because I think sometimes we have this plan, right? Especially when we're talking about a new year, a new calendar year. A lot of people are, we get out our planners, right? I've got this big, awesome planner that I get from my business mentor, which I love. And we do these big planning sessions, right? We map out our year. Especially as an entrepreneur and a business owner, we're mapping out our year. We're mapping out what we want to create and what we want to bring forward for our clients, the themes we want to touch on, the energy that we want to hold, the energetic activations we want to do. So we map that out. But I also know, as an intuitive, there is freedom in the flow and in the framework. And I like to have a lot of flow, a lot of space to flow, because I don't know, my higher self knows, your soul knows your path of growth, your trajectory, what's next for you, what you're about to become, who you're about to become. But many times we don't know. The human that's here, we don't know. We're in this field and we're in this moment by moment, day by day experience. And we're like, I'm living life, I'm creating, I'm doing the things, I'm actioning as I need to, I show up as I need to, and we might have a plan. You might have it all written out, your whole year. You might know exactly what you want to create for your entire year. And then you have to be flexible enough to surrender to the divine and surrender to the flow so that your higher self can actually step in. So Creator God, the infinite, the divine can step in and be a part of your experience and say, you know what? And we've heard this many times before, right? God laughs in the face of a plan or something to that effect, right? And we know this because when we have a plan, there's always a higher plan unless you're aligning your plan with the divine plan, aligning your plan and action with the higher energy and action. And this is what I have asked every one of my clients to live by, because it's so much more powerful when you get to live like that as opposed to figuring it out all the time. I hear this from clients all the time. Got to just figure it out. If I could just figure it out, figure out the plan, figure out the motion, figure out what I'm going to do next, then I'm going to be set. I'm going to be okay. I had all figured out too. I had it figured out that we were going to be living in Mexico 6 months, living in Canada 6 months. And all of a sudden, September happened. We get down there and I literally, on one of the days, I felt a dimensional shift. Now, some of you might know exactly what I'm talking about. Hi, Tara. Nice to see you. Some of you know what a dimensional shift is. Right? Let me know in the comments. Oh, you're going to be in Cozumel. That's so good. Let us know when you're going to be here, Lisa. We'll see if we can meet up. It'd be so good to hug you in person and see you. Okay. So let me know if you know what I'm talking about in terms of dimensional shift or like a quantum shift. And I'll give a little recap on what that is. It's when you're living in a certain dimension, a certain reality, a fixed point for a moment, a path. And then all of a sudden something changes within you. You internally up-level, your identity changes, something shifts, you could heal something, clear something, activate something, you become a higher version of you. Now we are always, remember at the very beginning I said, we go through 1 through 9, we are spiraling up. We spiral up, we grow up. Look at all of life on this planet. It grows in a spiral, Fibonacci sequence, the golden mean ratio. We move in this Christos spiral of light. As we grow, as we elevate, as we ascend. This is happening all the time. This happens with plants. This happens with seashells. This happens with humans. This happens with our cells in our body. We are constantly, look at our DNA. Our DNA is classic. It's a double helix spiral, right? So we're constantly evolving and growing. When you shift, so again, that could mean you heal something, you clear something, you face something, you grow through it, and you ascend beyond it. Meaning you're not just staying stuck in the mud, you're not staying in the ick and the stick, you're growing beyond the ick and the stick, you're elevating yourself up, you activate, you ascend, you become a greater version of yourself. You literally can quantum leap. You can shift dimensions, you can step off of one plane of existence into another just like that. And sometimes if you're sensitive, you'll feel it. So I feel these quantum shifts. When they happen, it feels like an internal, imagine going through, have you ever watched any of the sci-fi things of like the Stargates, or you watch somebody like teleport and there's like this dematerialization and then a rematerialization, or you watch them go through, especially in Marvel, they do this really well, the Guardians of the Galaxy, we did a rewatch of all of them. It was like a back-to-back. And I love these because there's so much truth to some of them, or at least some of the content in it. And they're going through these quantum leaps, right? They're jumping through dimensions from this earth dimension to wherever else they're going. I just need a sip. I haven't talked this much in weeks, you guys. My throat chakra is like activated. So when they go through these warps, that's what it is. It's like a warp field. You see their body goes like, right? And you hear it. It's like everything slows down. Their body changes. Their lips get big and then they get small and it just looks warpy weird. Okay. So think of that concept of the warpy weird. They're going through a quantum leap. They're time jumping. They're jumping through dimensions. They're jumping through portals. We get to experience this in our human form too, and it feels exactly like that. It might not look like that. My face might not be going like, it might not be doing that. But internally, energetically, I can feel exactly that. I feel the warp in time. I feel sometimes it comes from one side or the other. Sometimes it's from behind forward or from, not usually from, it's more side to side or moving forward. The one that I had in September was like a, and I'm like, oh boy. And I felt it. And I said, we just took a quantum leap. We literally just shifted dimensions. We just shifted timelines up into a higher frequency. And when we got back to Canada, everybody kept asking, when are you going to Mexico? When are you going to Mexico? And I'm like, I know we're going. I'm not sure when. And as we got closer and closer, so we knew Florida was next. So we followed the path. And I'm sharing this with you because many times in your own journey, again, you might have the plan, especially this is such a great conversation for this time of the year, because many of you, let me know in the comments, are you planning? Are you doing some prep for this next calendar year? And if you are, it's great. It's a great thing to have an idea in mind, to have a vision, a set point for where you're going. And you got to be open to the weird. You got to be open to when there's a wobble and a shift. You got to be open to when creator's plan steps in and says, oh, you thought you were going this way? Well, we've just timeline jumped you. And now you're on a higher plane of existence. And now you're going here. And that's what happened to us. We found ourselves in Florida for 2 months. And right up until 3 days before we flew, we still didn't know if we were staying in Florida or coming down to Mexico. 3 days. Now, that's not me. I'm a little bit of a planner when it comes to these things. I plan our launches. I plan our free master classes. I plan the content as to what we're going to be up to. I plan our podcast, our private podcast. I like to do that, but I'm also open to the flow. I don't plan without divine guidance. I will make sure I mention that. I always will receive the divine guidance and then I go. I don't hesitate. I just go. So I was sitting and I was waiting. Waiting, not waiting, right, Thrivers? Waiting, not waiting. Receiving what's in the highest alignment. What's in the highest alignment? Show us what's in the highest alignment. And each way was a 50-50. You go this way or you go this way. You go to Mexico, it's going to be great. You stay in Florida, it's going to be great. And I'm like, I just want an answer. I even said to some of my friends, I was like, I just want someone to make this decision for me. So what I actually had to do in that moment, which was such a great trust fall, I handed it over to Gabriel and I said, this one's you, babe. I'm like, I usually will do most of the planning. This one is you. I'm going to hand it over to you. You make the decision. I handed it over to the kids. I said, you guys make the decision. I'm open to the flow. Wherever we need to go, I'm going to be perfect. It's going to be great. And I have that within my beingness. I can make the best out of crazy ass situations. I will always find the best in everything and anything. So I said, it's going to be great for me. Where do you all want to go? And the decision was, we're going to go to Mexico, but we're going to go shorter. Not 6 months, 3 months. So all of a sudden it changed. And then we head back to Florida and then we'll return to Canada. And I'm sharing this because you might have a plan. So you can plan your year. You can have it all mapped out as you want. And leave room for flow. Leave room for the divine shift, the divine hand, creator's hand, God's plan, whatever you want to call it. Leave room for the open, the unknown, and the shifts that might be in your highest and best good. When you do this, it requires trust because you may not have it all figured out. We didn't know where we were going to be staying 3 days prior to us coming down here. There was another unit that was available one building over. They're doing some extra building and construction here. So one building over, we had the plan. The contract was sitting there. I said to Gabriel, did you sign the contract yet? He's like, something feels off about it. I said, yeah, something feels off about going there. So he ran it through chat. Chat was like, I highly recommend that you do not sign this contract. And we were like, okay. So we asked for some amendments. They weren't willing to make the amendments. We're like, well, I guess we're staying in Florida. 3 days before. The woman we were talking to, she said, you know what? I have another unit for you. I still have to post the video. Where we landed right here, if you can see behind me, even the decorations in this space are perfectly aligned for Gabriel and I and who we are. There are Buddhas everywhere. This entire space, there are Buddhas everywhere. Even downstairs. It was like someone took a page out of my book and decorated it knowing that I was coming. Living plants, a love sign over here, this beautiful office setup that's above where the kids are, so it's a separate space for us to teach. I'm looking at a view with a rooftop pool. Less than what we were originally going to pay. A couple $100 less than what we were originally going to pay. And we said, we only need it for 3 months, no problem. Most of the time they do not say that. This space is spectacular. Everything about it, it worked out better than I could have planned. Better than I could have arranged things. And I'm sharing that with you because we forget. Especially when we get into a new year, there's this new energy, there's this new momentum. We get excited. We want to start new things. And yet, we're still, if you look at the Northern Hemisphere, in the Southern Hemisphere, they're in the summer months. Northern Hemisphere, we're in the winter months. Right? Above, we're in the winter months. So in the winter, we have this hibernation feeling. We have this cozy feeling. We want to go in. We want to rest. We want to nourish. We want to nourish the seeds before we plant them. We want to hold them sacred in our hands and our heart. And these are our seed ideas, right? Our creations. We want to hold them. We want to nourish them. We want to love up on them. We want to infuse them with so much goodness and so much light before we plant them, which comes in the spring. And technically the spring for me is my new year. By biology, by cyclical energy, that is when I really, really celebrate my new year. I'm embracing the calendar new year this year, which I've done every other year most of my life. And it's felt really, really interesting. And I'm going to share this with you. Maybe this helps you. For those of you that are super tuned into energy and seasons and cycles, and maybe you're super empathic, and maybe you're feeling like, even though it's a new year, I want to be still. I want to rest. I want to go inward. I'm feeling like it's not time for me to reemerge as yet. Honor that. Don't push through what is most natural to you. Honor that for yourself. I said this last year that I wasn't fully celebrating a new year last year because my new year is in the spring. That's when new life begins. That's when new energy begins. Now, if you travel like us and you put yourself from cooler temperatures into warmer temperatures, all of a sudden you've just put yourself in the middle of summer. However, if you grew up in northern hemispheres, your body, your seasons and cycles inside of you remember and know winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Or spring, summer, fall, winter. You know it. It's innate within you. It's inherent within you. And so if you feel that, honor that. If you're like, I'm ready to go. It's a new calendar year. I'm ready to go. Honor that. If you want to honor both, and this is what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to share this with you, I'm honoring both. I'm honoring the fact that it's a new Gregorian calendar, even though I think the Gregorian calendar is a little skew from what is most natural. I'm honoring it because that's what we all chose on some level, and it's here. So I'm going to play that game. So I'm going to go into some planning, and I'm going to go into some dreaming. I think it's a great idea to be dreaming all the time, not just at a new year, not just in the winter hibernation months. It's a great idea to be visioning and dreaming always. Because if not, what happens is we get complacent, we get stuck, we get into this feeling of flatness, and then it takes a whole lot of extra energy to boost ourselves back up and get going again. If you stay in a constant dreamlike state where you're visioning and dreaming and redreaming and revisioning, you will stay in the energy of momentum and flow. So I'm honoring that part of the season right now. I'm honoring the calendar year, new energy. We're into a one cycle of 2026. I'm honoring it to the full capacity. So that's on one hand. On the other hand, there is a part of me that feels like I need some rest. So we took some rest. We took 2 weeks off, fully off. I hardly posted. I was not checking messages. I hardly checked email. Now I have a full email box that has to be cleaned out. However, I took the time I needed to rest, to honor the winter energy that I still feel in my body, that wants to honor these sacred seeds of creation and vision. that wants to recalibrate, that wants to nourish, and I'm doing that. I'm still honoring that. And you get to honor it in whatever way, in whatever season you're in. So I can still honor it here, even though I'm not in the winter. I can honor it by having some chill time every day, quiet time every day, rest time every day, to rejuvenate, to recalibrate, to come to center, to meditate, to pray, to connect, to see those seeds of creation within me, and to deeply honor them. And then naturally, whatever creation rises from me, whatever naturally springs up and forward naturally, I then move with that. The other day, I was starting to feel, I think it was on Saturday, I was starting to feel like, okay, we're getting ready to get started on Monday. We're starting the new flow and season and energy of Thrive Evolution. We've changed a lot of things about it, which I'm really excited to announce with our clients. We're making it more fluid, more easier. We're touching on all 4 seasons in one go and really allowing everybody to thrive in their abundance, thrive in their relationships and their self, thrive in their health, thrive in their intuition, thrive in their spirituality, in not just in the individual seasons, but all year. And so that starts this week. So I could feel that energy. We're starting our certification for the advanced energy healing. That starts. We're starting a new season in Light Leadership, our high level mastermind. There's so much new energy. I just started kind of like a blog, newsletter over on Substack. I'm going to be posting about that later. I just launched something really cool. I created my first ever album of mantras. And so I posted that over in Substack. So if you want access to that, just type stack in the comments below and I'll send you the link. And so just type stack. And so there's so much new energy. But on Saturday, I could feel this rise in energy. And I said to my girlfriends down here, which I was so happy to see them because we haven't seen each other in a long time. And I said, I feel this energy like I should be getting going. I should be getting going. Monday's just around the corner. And everything in my body was like, nope. I grabbed my calendar. I was like, nope. I grabbed my laptop. Nope, my laptop actually was not working at all. I thought for sure, I was like, I got to buy a new one now. I'm going to have to go to Cancun or to Playa and go get a new one. And then all of a sudden, yesterday night, when I felt the go energy, my laptop started working. I felt the go energy. I felt the flow. And then it was time to go. It was time to do my thing. So I sat down last night. I started typing. I got the Substack up in like 15 to 20 minutes. I wrote my first post in there. I published the music, the album. It's in the system. I'll let you know when it's available for download. I accomplished so much yesterday in about an hour and a half, as opposed to me trying to force or push something to happen on Saturday when my energy was like, rest, be chill, go to the beach, hang out with the kids, play, be still, rejuvenate. Thank you. I'll send you the link for sure. And so I honored that. And I want to share that with you. This is the season. And I think this has always been the case, but I think we have a really cool opportunity right now to really practice and honor what we feel intuitively, inherently inside. When you feel that energy of inspiration, go for it. When you feel like you need to create or vision, go for it. When you feel like you want to get the work done, go for it. Now, some of you might need a little bit of extra structure because if you know yourself, you might know that you procrastinate. You might know that there's times that you don't feel like doing anything. You might know that there's a number of things that you do need to get done and you're like swirling and nothing's getting done. Or swirling in the overwhelm and you're like, this is not fun. If you know that about yourself, then you need to have a little bit of structure and you need to have a little bit of a plan and you need to have a little bit of a map so that you do fall into that after you honor the rest. So give it a go this season and see what happens. If I know that I've got this to do and my whole being is saying, just chill and be still. Chill and be still. Chill and be still. Chill and be still. Honor that. Be still. Give yourself that time and space and then see if it rejuvenates you and then gives you the energy and the momentum and the wisdom and the go energy. Many of you know we have that phrase over in our world, go energy. We have t-shirts about, I was wearing my t-shirt this morning on my power walk, go energy. When you've got the go energy, then you go. You don't have to force. We're also coming into the Chinese New Year, which is the fire horse. I'm a horse. I know the workhorse energy. The fire energy is really interesting because that's the passion. So we're in an extra oomph of passionate energy, a fiery energy, which means we're going to burn off a lot of shit, a lot of ick and stick, and we're going to motion and bring to life a lot of things this year. So we want to make sure that in our nervous system, in our body, that we are nourishing and honoring each day, not just every week, not once a month, but every day, honoring our balance, our flow, our structure, our creativity, and continue to dream no matter what. So that you do have the most fun, the most successful, the most productive, the most fruition-based, everything coming to fruition this year, that you get to experience all of that without the burnout, without overdriving, overdoing, overworking, without spinning your wheels and going nowhere, without the overwhelm. Okay? Because I'll wrap with this. We are in a new year, so it's a new energy cycle. This is about trusting our own flow, trusting the divine and what it's giving us, trusting where the divine is directing us. When you align the divine with your life path, it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to be a lot more fun. It's going to be a lot more fluid, and it's going to be a lot more beautiful. Beautiful creations will come to fruition. The other thing is, because we are in a new calendar year, this is a new season, a new cycle, and it is new energy. So go energy, utilize the energy of the newness and do it in a way that feels really honoring for you. If you need to rest, rest. You need to rest before you go, do that. You need to tune in to the divine, ask for clarity. Before you make moves, do that. This is a great time to come back into yourself, back into your intuition. And I'm excited. I'm really excited for what's happening this year. There's change in the air, positive change. There's excitement. There's a lot of trust, a deepening of trust in our bodies, in our consciousness, in our path. And there's a realignment and a reconfiguration that's happening with the divine. And I have a feeling this is going to be one of the most creative years that we've had in a really long time. Creative in terms of new ideas, new businesses, new concepts, fresh energy. This is a newness. That means bringing new life to the surface. I even launched I didn't bring them up here, I meant to. I launched a journal over the holidays. I was playing with it before we left, and then I put it aside because I ran out of time. And then when we were in Florida, I started playing and dabbling with it, and I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go for it. And I got the copy, and I loved how they turned out. They're silky smooth. I love the lined paper. It's the perfect paperweight. It's the perfect space between the lines. I put some of the Divine Wisdom card images in there as insight, as remembrance. I love them. So if you want access to those as well, we have our online store, our merch store. So just type journal and I'll send you the link. They're beautiful. I think they're like $22. They're beautiful. And I've been writing in them every day. Divine insights have been coming through every day. And there's a lot of fresh energy. So embrace the fresh energy. Embrace what is being given to you right now. But one of the first things that we have to do before we go energy, okay, before we go energy, always receive. Give yourself the time, the energy, the space to receive. Receive from the divine, receive from the light, receive from your own soul and your higher self. Receive, fill up, then go. And it'll be so much easier. It'll be so much more joyful. Then you don't have to feel like you're keeping up with the Joneses and keeping up with everybody else that's like setting all these New Year things and you're just like, I just want to sleep. Okay, great. So go sleep. And then go energy. Okay? So hopefully this has resonated. If you love this content, please do me a favor and share it. I am on a mission, Gabriel and I are on a mission this year to get the word, the work out there, the soul work, the light work out there bigger than ever before this year. So I would really love it and appreciate it if you would share this video. Just click the share button, share it with your peeps, your world, on your stories, wherever it needs to go. I would be so, so grateful if you would share that. And again, if you want access to the journal, type the word journal. I'll send you the link. And it ships globally. So this is worldwide. It ships globally because it ships through Printify and Shopify. And what was the other thing? I can't remember what the other thing was that I said to type it. Oh, my Substack thing. I released a little snippet. Thrivers got early access. They got to hear 2 of the songs on the album. And I shared that with them so that they could go download it and have it on their phones and computers already. So if you want to get a little snippet and hear that, just type Stack and I'll send you the link for that. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you for being part of our world. Thank you for being part of our community. This is my 10th year, full on 10th year going into Plug In and Power Up. And so I want to thank you all so much for being here and riding this journey with us over the years, or if you're fresh and new in our world, I want to thank you so much. I want you to have the most incredible reset, rejuvenated energy for your new year, your new cycle, the fire horse energy. This is a powerful time for dreaming, for creation. Let yourself dream and let yourself receive first. Okay? We'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much. I love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us today on another episode of the Rising Consciousness Show. For more high vibration conversations, meditations, energy activations, and tips and tools on creating your most exceptional life, we lovingly invite you to connect with us at academyoflight.ca. The website is www.academyoflight.ca. It is time to create your heaven on earth experience, and we look forward to sharing this beautiful journey with you.
You're listening to Rising Consciousness, yeah.
Woo!
Woo!